I swear to God, every single time I sit down and film a video, whether it's like months later or whatever, every single time someone decides to mow their lawn. It's a curse, really. Oh, I didn't see you there. That was so dumb. It's been a while. I have not uploaded in, I don't even want to think about how long. It's been a while. I mostly took a break for my own mental well-being, and like also I wanted to just kind of take a break and make my channel a little better and something that I'm a little happy with. And now I'm gonna try to actually post videos frequently and make them good. Anyways, you're not here to listen to me ramble. I'm just gonna get into the video. So today I'm going to be recommending some anime series based on your zodiac sign. So I have a list of 12 series, actually more, because for some of the signs I had more than one option because I'm very indecisive. And I am not a zodiac expert or an astrology professional. This is just like very general basic traits of the signs. So I probably maybe got one of these a little bit off and not completely correct. So correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. If you have a show that you think would fit better, please let me know, because I feel like there's a lot of shows that could fit their criteria, but I only chose shows that I personally have watched, and it was kind of difficult choosing which ones for each sign. This is also inspired by a bit of Monica, because she does a series like this on her channel, but with films and movies. So I'm just doing it with anime, because as you can see from my background, I like it. So also, fun fact, I filmed this video maybe 5 times. So this time is gonna be the final one. If you like my channel, make sure to subscribe, and let's just get into it. So I have all my little notes on my phone, and we're going to start out with Aries, who are born between March 21st and April 19th. Their strengths include them being courageous, determined, confident, enthusiastic, optimistic, honest, and passionate, but they can also be impatient, moody, short-tempered, impulsive. They're the first to take actions in situations, and they're one of the most active zodiac signs, and they possess a youthful energy regardless of what age they are, and a display of passion for life itself. The show I chose for this sign is Attack on Titan. I feel like this one was a given to me because it is one of the most action-packed hype shows I've ever seen, and it's so good. I'm almost finished with the manga. I think I have like a few more chapters to get through. If you have not seen the plot, it follows humanity that has kind of trapped themselves inside the walls, and there's 3 walls, and they're surrounded by man-eating titans. And then one day, the walls that protect the city break, and all the titans get loose, and chaos ensues. I'm pretty sure most people have, if not watched, at least heard of the show. But like I said, there's so many amazing action scenes in the show, and there's just a lot of like really high energy moments. Like the show kind of follows from like one high energy moment to the next. It's definitely one of my favorite shows, especially the 3rd season. That was so good, and I already know what's gonna happen in the 4th season, and I'm so excited. Like, you don't even understand. Action scenes fighting the titans to like geopolitical drama to, you know, conspiracies and like secret, you know, groups and stuff, and it's just really good. And I would definitely say the protagonist, Eren Yeager, is an Aries from what I can tell, at least from like the beginning of the show. He's definitely willing to fight, you know. But yeah, anyways, next up are Tauruses. They're born between April 20th and May 20th. They're reliable, patient, practical, devoted, responsible, and stable, but they can also be stubborn, possessive, and uncompromising. They're able to see life from a realistic and grounded perspective. And although stubbornness can be a weakness, it can also be a positive attribute because they can stay on the same topic or, you know, goal for a very long time without getting distracted. So for this one, I chose One Punch Man because I feel like Saitama as a character kind of embodies a Taurus because he's very grounded. He's definitely like one of the most normal people in the entire show, almost to the point where people describe him as boring. He's just like this guy who happens to have like the strongest superpower, but he just like lives his life. Throughout the show, he's kind of looking for a more interesting and engaging fight because every single villain he's ever encountered has kind of been lackluster because he can defeat them in literally one punch. So he's kind of just like bored and looking for something to do because like he got to the top and now he's like, what comes after this? What am I gonna do? Also, the way Saitama got his powers, I believe, is from constantly and vigilantly training every single day for like a period of time. I don't exactly remember what he did. I think it was like 100 sit-ups and like 200 squats and like 10 miles every single day or something. And then doing that over a period of time, he ended up getting this amazing power. But that also fits in with Taurus because he was very stubbornly and constantly training on this one goal until he got where he needed to be. Next up are Geminis, who were born between May 21st and June 20th. Geminis are gentle, affectionate, curious, adaptable, have the ability to learn quickly and exchange ideas. They're also nervous, inconsistent, and indecisive. They're very social, communicative, and ready for fun. Because of their dual personality, they can both be serious and very curious, and they seek to learn everything they can. So, for this sign, I chose Hunter x Hunter, which I don't know if you can see my little Gon poster in the background, but there he is, but on a frog. I love him. Okay, the show is very good, and I feel like it fits a Gemini because the show definitely has a dual nature to it. It was said that Togashi, the author, kind of writes in a stream of consciousness manner, and I believe that that reflects in the anime itself as well, because each season of the show is almost like a completely different genre, I would say. Like, I don't know if that's a stretch. I'm just saying that like there are varying tones throughout the show. There's also a lot of characters. Like, there's so many characters. I don't think I can name all the characters, and they're all really good. I don't hate any of the characters. No, wait. I hate some of the characters. Who is his name? Tampa? Is that his name? I hate him. And also Mr. Bomb Bomb Boomy guy. I don't like he was like the weakest villain, which is saying something because every single villain in this show was top tier, best villains in anime. You can fight me if you want to, but the Phantom Troop, along with like the Chimera Ants, best villains in anime. I mean, you can argue, but you're wrong. I love it because it can be so wholesome at times, and then other times it can be so dark and depressing and like, damn, this is pretty scary and dark. Also, along with the indecisiveness, a lot of characters will show up for one season and then just like peace out for the next 2 seasons and you don't see them. They're just gone. And then they come back like nothing happened. Like, I thought you were gone. I thought you left forever, but here you are once again. Next up are Cancers, and they're born between June 21st and July 22nd. They're tenacious, highly imaginative, loyal, emotional, sympathetic, and persuasive. They're extremely emotional and sensitive and enjoy being connected to their home and have a strong family connection or relationship. They can empathize easily with other people in their pain, and above all, they value love and relationships. So for this one, I chose fruits baskets. Also, the show kind of involves zodiacs, so maybe it's kind of fitting for this list. Anyways, so the show follows Toru, who basically had a really terrible life because her parents both died, and she's kind of living homeless by herself, and she gets involved with the Soma family, who is a family that if the opposite sex touches them, they basically just turn into their respective zodiac animals. So Toru ends up living with them, and you know, relationship drama and love and all that ensues. But the main core of the show is also focusing on Toru's empathy and how she is very selfless for other people, but not very self-loving on herself. Like, she very much values her friends and her new family, and she puts them before everyone else, including herself. And throughout the show, she kind of has to learn how to kind of be a little more assertive. She's not just a nice character, she's like emotionally broken inside. She's not just like, oh, she's just nice. Like, no, it's like an actual problem, and it's treated really well in the show. There's 2 versions. I actually recently watched the 2018, I believe, but it's just like better animation, and like I believe it's the same voice cast, but really good. Definitely recommend. Next up are Leos. Leos are born between July 23rd and August 22nd. They're creative, passionate, generous, warm-hearted, cheerful, and humorous. They're natural born leaders, self-confident and creative, and will be able to succeed in whatever field they choose to commit their lives to. I actually have two shows for this one because I am very indecisive. So the first one is JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. I haven't finished the show. I've watched like 2.5 seasons as of now, but I was asking my friend Rachel for suggestions, and she suggested this show because, and I quote, "Everything is always about the JoJos. No one else gets up to this stuff except them. Like, they're kind of like the center of the universe in the show, like the Joestar family." The art style itself is very striking and unique, and I have never seen anything like it before in anime. You just look at a character and you know it's a JoJo character, you know? Everything is just so out there and just to the extreme, and I love it. Option number 2 is Banana Fish, which is a show that is misleading in the name, because I know that when I watched Banana Fish, like, I knew nothing about the show, and then because I thought Banana Fish was like, oh, it's cute, it's a little like banana fish, you know, like it's probably gonna be like a cute romance or something. No, it's very dark and dramatic, and it will also probably make you cry. So I chose Banana Fish because a lot of the show focuses on loyalty and relationships, both between the two main characters, but also between their fellow gang members. So there's two main characters. There's Ash, who is the one of the main gang leaders. Our other main protagonist, Eiji, is this boy from Japan who's visiting and kind of gets involved in this whole gang scene. And it's a show that has a lot of like really sweet moments, but also a lot of moments that are like, this is really dark. So be warned, content warning if you're gonna watch the show. I don't know, I just feel like it fits a Leo. I feel like a Leo would like watching it. I don't know. Next up are Virgos. They're born between August 22nd and September 22nd, so that would actually be probably the time when I'm posting this video. So happy birthday if you're watching this. They're loyal, analytical, kind, hardworking, and practical. They're one of the most careful signs, and they never go through life without as many things in their life being planned out as possible. They have a well-developed sense of speech and writing, and they prefer stable relationships. So for this sign, I chose Ascendance of a Bookworm, which is a series that follows this girl who was a librarian and then was reincarnated after she died into a new life, where she is the child of a very poor family in a feudal medieval society. Her main goal in life is to read a book because she's like a bookworm. She loves books. And then she gets reincarnated into this world where actually books don't exist. In this world, I believe that there's only a few books in existence, and the only books are reserved for like the really rich elite, and most people can't even read, let alone like read a book. So she is basically trying her best to make a book from scratch, and she's like very determined to make this book. She starts with sewing paper to making stone tablets to like learning to read and write the language, and it's just really interesting to watch. And she's, the character is very obviously intelligent and hardworking, and she'll basically do whatever she can to achieve her goal of literally just reading a book, which is a very noble cause. Next up are Libras, and they are born between September 23rd and October 22nd. They're cooperative, diplomatic, gracious, fair-minded, and social. They're fascinated by balance, and they avoid conflict whenever they can. They're in a constant search for knowledge, and their lives need to be enriched with music, art, and they want to find the balance and harmony in all things. Again, I have two for this one. The first one is Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, because I kind of had to squeeze that one in here because it is my favorite show of all time, which, you know, is a little cliche because everyone likes that show. I'm not very special, but I still stand by that statement. I've watched the show like 6 times now, and I will watch it again. I'll do it again. I included that show because the whole show basically is centered on balance as a main principle, because alchemy, the main magic system, they call it a science, but it's basically magic. One of the main principles of alchemy is equivalent exchange, which basically is like, what you can't create what hasn't already been created. Like, it has to have equal and opposite reaction kind of. I don't know if I'm explaining this very well. There's also kind of balance between like Hohenheim and the evil version of him, and also between like good and evil, and you know, it's like there's a lot of balance going on. I could ramble on, but I will not. But anyways, if you have not watched that show somehow and you're looking for a new anime to watch, it is the best show in my opinion. Nothing is going to top it. And then also I want to mention Death Parade, which is another really good one, and it's great if you just want like a short series because it's only one season, like 12 episodes or so, so it's really good, quick watch. The whole show is basically the life after the afterlife. So they take people who have died and kind of judge them based on their moral actions while they were alive to go to, it's like up or down, but it's basically just implied that it's like heaven and purgatory or whatever. So a lot of the show is like about judgment and kind of, you know, balancing between good and evil and stuff. So I don't know, it's a really good show. And also the soundtrack slaps, it's so good. One of the best anime intros of all time. Next up are Scorpios, who are born between October 23rd and November 21st. They're resourceful, brave, passionate, stubborn, and a true friend. They value honesty and will keep your secrets, and they're known for their calm behavior and mysterious aura. So for this one, I chose Promised Neverland, which is a thriller. It's not a horror, but it's like a thriller about these kids who are basically trying to escape from their orphanage. I don't want to spoil why exactly they're trying to escape because I feel like that gives away one of the main reveals of the show, even though the reveal is like in the first episode. But I think it's better to go in blind than it is to know what's going on. But I do have to say that the kids themselves are very brave, and especially the main character, what's her name, Emma, I think? Yeah, Emma, okay. Especially the main character Emma is super brave, and like the trio of the three of them all together, the three kids who are like the main group, they're both very resourceful and intelligent, and they kind of have to come up with a plan to escape and bring everybody. It's a very tense kind of cat and mouse situation because while they're doing that, the adults themselves have their own secrets and their own things that they're hiding, and their own, like, you know, dishonest appearance to what's actually going on. But yeah, like I said, it's a very good show, and I don't want to spoil it because I don't want to talk too much, but yes. Next up are Sagittariuses, who are born between November 21st and December 22nd. They're generous, idealistic, have a great sense of humor. They're extroverted, enthusiastic, and dynamic. They're often impatient when faced with things they desire, must learn to express themselves in a way that respects others in the world. So for this one, I chose Ouran High School Host Club. I feel like the host club, like the main cast themselves, especially Tamaki, it's definitely Sagittarius in that way that they're very unfiltered and very just like, they'll say whatever no matter if it like offends someone or not. But the show basically follows our main character Haruhi, who gets accepted into like this really rich private elite school, and she kind of gets like tricked into joining this host club, which is a group of guys who kind of dress up nice and like please the ladies by like giving them tea and flirting with them and stuff, and she kind of becomes indebted to where she's forced to join them. It's first of all really funny. The show makes me laugh like every time I watch it, and the characters, like I said, the host club members, they're all really rich, like they're super rich, like some of them own like a private island so they kind of just like can do whatever they want and feel like they can get whatever they want basically, and so they're kind of like impatient in that way. And also especially Tamaki is very unfiltered. Like for example, they went to the commoners area, which is where Haruhi lives, and like her apartment, and they're like, oh, this is so disgusting, you guys live here. And also the nature of the show being a comedy with like something that would probably never happen in real life, being roped into like this host club. And I wish we were getting a season 2, and I've got my hopes up this year because people keep posting things with like the voice actors and stuff, but like I don't think it's gonna happen, guys, and that's really sad. Next up are Capricorns. They're responsible, disciplined, self-controlled, and have good manners. They have a sense of inner independence that helps them push forward to achieve their personal and professional goals. They're experts at making plans and following through with them. It's not easy to break down their emotional walls, but once you do, you have a lifetime of commitment in a relationship with them. And talking about their emotions will not come easy. For this one, I chose Mob Psycho 100 because it's, again, one of my favorite shows. The art style is absolutely amazing and so unique. I chose that show because it follows Mob, or Shikio, who is a really strong esper. We're basically people who have like telekinetic abilities and like psychic powers or whatever. And he has like these really strong psychic powers, but since being a young child, he's kind of have to learn to repress it a little bit and kind of control his emotions, and therefore he kind of comes off as like stoic and emotionless to other people, and he has like this wall basically, and it's called Mob Psycho 100 because once he gets to like 100% of like his emotions, he kind of just breaks and kind of like loses control basically, and so he can't control his powers, and so that's why he is very shelled up. I love the show and I love him. It focuses a lot on Mob's emotional state, and also especially into season 2, his growth of learning how to kind of stand up for himself a little bit and be like a little more open with people basically. Next up is Aquarius. They're born between January 20th and February 18th. They're progressive, original, independent, and humanitarian. They're deep thinkers who love helping people, and they feel comfortable being in a group or community, so they're trying to be surrounded by other people constantly. So I didn't know if I wanted to mention the show, but I feel like it fits Aquarius. It's My Hero Academia, which is like the most hyped show at the moment. Like, I'm pretty sure if you've heard of anime, you've heard of My Hero Academia. I still love it though. Like, I still clearly am a fan. I love the show. Basically, it follows a world after, I want to say like 90% of the world ended up getting superpowers, or they call them quirks. And like quirks can vary from literally having a bird head to being like an actual speech bubble to having like bird wings. Hawks, my man, love him. So many things. And if you're normal, like what we would consider normal, you're the weird one. So it's kind of like an opposite situation where the uniqueness is kind of celebrated. Like being unique and having a really interesting quirk is something that a lot of people are looking for, rather than just being normal and not having anything. Those people are seen as like the losers almost. It's basically Sky High, but in anime. So if you like Sky High, the Disney Channel original movie, you might like this show. And yeah, they mentioned it being humanitarian, which obviously they're heroes, and also the fact that they like being surrounded by others and in teams, which is kind of what the class of 1A does. They're kind of like one big family, like one big community. And they kind of like help each other out and fight together, and it's really cute, and I just love them all. They're really great. The last sign is Pisces, which is my sign. Oh my god. I know so many Pisces in my life, like it's not even funny. I want to say like half of my friends are Pisces, which I don't know if that says anything about me. Maybe we just find each other, but I like just realized that recently that most of my friends are Pisces, and that's really interesting. Astrology experts tell me what that means. Pisces are born between February 19th and March 20th. They're compassionate, artistic, intuitive, gentle. They're also fearful, overly trusting, sad, and have the desire to escape reality. They're very friendly and usually find themselves in the company of different types of people. They're willing to help others and love to give back. They're very connected to music and various types of art. So Given basically centers around this band of 4 guys, and one of them is a new member, and he has a lot of like emotional trauma from his past, and the whole show is about relationships and love and connections between each other, and it's a very emotional show, which I feel like is very Pisces. And it also again focuses on music, which is something that Pisces like, apparently, music and art and all that. It's a very heartfelt show and I really love it. You know, being a water sign, I had to choose a show that would make Pisces cry, so here we are. I believe there's actually a movie coming out. It came out in Japan like very recently, or maybe it came out in America. I don't know. but I'm gonna watch it when it comes out. Anyways, that was my list. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you thought of my list. Oh my god, my... Sir, why do you have to mow the lawn at this hour, my dude? So, let me know what you thought of my list. Like I said, I'm not an astrology expert, so I probably got one or two of these wrong, and I'm just going off of like very basic descriptions. I like recently got into it because of my friend, because she's really into that and like MBTI types and stuff. Which, by the way, I have the same MBTI type as Shrek. So do with that what you will. If you have any anime recommendations in general, please leave them down below because I'm always looking for new shows. I'm also planning on doing some spooky stuff for Halloween. I don't know if I'm gonna do the whole Halloween costume videos like I've done in the past, but I think this year I'm gonna do like a series almost. Definitely inspired by Rachel Maskey, who's one of my favorite YouTubers at the moment. I love her so much. If you have any spooky name suggestions, please leave them down below. Oh, I also changed my channel name. It's not that much of a difference, but anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I just want to let you know I really appreciate you guys, and I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing okay, especially with everything going on. I know it's like really stressful and dark, and I just really hope that you're doing okay, and I want you to be happy. So I hope you have a good day, and I'll see you next week. Bye.